With our chores complete, Delise and me would wait for Dad's return, eating ham and pickle sandwiches in Grandma's dustless lounge room. We'd sit on an ugly plastic sheet thrown over Grandma's expensive leather couch, bored out of our brains. Whenever Grandma left the room, Delise and me would lift the edge of the plastic sheet and throw pieces of pickle and crust down the side of her leather cushions. Grandma would return, oblivious to her two half-caste grandchildren, sitting in the corner, like overshaken soft drink bottles, trying to keep a lid on the urge to laugh. Mr. Swaggart gives me a book about this German bloke, Marx, who reckons that religion is the opiate of the people. Swaggart says opiate means drug. It makes me think of Mum and the whole Catholic thing. Dad once told me, shaking his head, how some young men in the Philippines actually volunteer to be crucified every Easter. They take 3-inch nails and drive them right through their bloody palms. When I ask Mum about it, she starts by giving me a rundown of her life as a kid growing up in San Fernando City. She remembers the smells mostly: burnt oil, passion fruit cakes, monsoon mud and decay. But she also remembers hot, bloated nights where plain-throated sunbirds would line up as sentinels on tired and droopy power lines, marshalling in the sea salt mist. And yes, she remembers seeing very clearly not one, not 3, but 24 real-life crucifixions at Cristo Rey Mountain Park when she was 16, and she has the photos to prove it. A minute later, and Mum returns with a motley brown scrapbook which she opens like an old wound, the faded black and white photos spilling out onto the floor. The images slice into my dreams. I toss and turn at night, receiving my inheritance. At school, I type public crucifixion into Yahoo and navigate my way to a Filipino tourism website. There's a picture of a Filipino man being crucified surrounded by locals dressed in centurion costumes. In the background is a giant billboard, sparkly red with white writing. Coke is life. The caption under the photo reads, "Angelus Religious Tours. Take yourself to the heart of reverence." That'd be bloody right, I laugh to myself. A bit more searching, a web page later, and I discover how Coca-Cola will be soaking up the goodwill today as the key sponsor of the Good Friday crucifixions in the Philippines. I laugh again, and I can't help but wonder if maybe there's a sponsor out there for me who can save me from this shitful life. A sponsor who can throw a Schweppervescent smile my way to bubble and fizz and lift me out of this yellowish white, Asian bright, wetsuit tight, pig ugly world. Dad's shed key hangs on a hook by the back door like a tasty apple ready to be picked. In a plastic tray below are some unused train tickets which Dad uses to get himself to work. I gently lift the shed key from the hook and pocket a train ticket for good measure. The key to unlock a mystery. A ticket, just in case I get caught. I stand at the back step thinking through my plan, my mind stopping all stations. I stare at the key, cold and brassy in one hand, and at the train ticket, yet to be validated, in the other. Dad's at work. I butter slip the stolen key into the lock, twist, and click. The shed door creaks open. A quick look behind, a quick swallow, and I step phantom-like into the unknown. On the bottom shelf, I find a worn and faded magazine wedged between 2 heavy books. I yank it out. The Australasian Post, issue 232, November 1978. I turn to page 3 and gasp at the model staring back at me. Caramel eyes, thick toffee hair, strawberry lips and mixing bowl tits. I chew over the strange discovery, my eyes glued to the page. 5 minutes later, I'm back in my room, slipping my new trophy underneath the mattress, praying Dad will never, never find out. The back pages of Dad's Australasian Post rustle back and forth with the flick of my fingers. My eyes prune away the boring bits until all I'm left with are ripe words and juicy images. My heart beats harder and harder. On the back page is a small ad that's been circled with a ballpoint pen. I dry up inside and the pages of the magazine fall from my fingers like autumn leaves to the floor. Late at night, when everyone's asleep, I creep into the kitchen in search of answers and punch the numbers into the phone. 1-800-973-786. The number you have called is not connected. Please check the number before dialing again. The phone pumps its pointless pulse down the line and I stand there waiting until the beeping stops and the sound flatlines. I return to my room and bury myself alive under the doona. A dead heart, a purchased start, a number dialed, a telephone child. Praised be my Creator, the Australasian Post. We sit, as usual, in the fifth row. Mum's all bent knees, thumb-kissing, down-turned eyes and whispers. Dad. Well, Dad's just there out of obligation, although sometimes I reckon he glances at the blonde 2 rows back. It's 2 weeks out from Christmas. The smell of eucalyptus is blowing through the church's side door and a kookaburra is cackling outside while Father Michael tries to give his homily. Father Michael ignores the laughter, driving his sharp, vinegary words like nails deep into the parishioners. I sit, trapped and strung out, between Mum and Dad, 2 thieves stealing my youth. Mum elbows me and I tumble back to reality, joining in with the end of the creed. We look for the resurrection of the dead and the life of the world to come. Amen. Delise, Mum and me get back late from shopping. There's a letter on the coffee table and a neatly wrapped present under the tree. Delise reads the letter, staring at it with graveyard eyes before handing it to me. I stumble at the first sentence. It's time for me to move on. Stagger at the words, I'm sorry for not being a good husband or father, and fall at, yours sincerely, John. My tears flowing, hot and salty. Simple words. Words even Mum would understand. The lights strangling the Christmas tree blink and burn red, yellow and blue. Mum returns from the kitchen with cold glasses of milk and a plate of shortbread biscuits, sugar dusted and cut into the shape of angels. Delise looks up at Mum, her cheeks black with mascara, but it's me who speaks. Sit down, Mum. Dad's gone. He's gone. Why can't you just sit down? Back off, Pedro, Dal snaps. Mum looks our way, then slumps to the couch, defeated. For what seems an eternity, we sit around the coffee table in silence. The Christmas lights blink and burn, red, yellow, and blue, as a car alarm sounds down the street, as the milk turns warm in our glasses. Mum's staring at the floor. Delise's buried her head in a cushion. Nobody's talking and I can't stand it anymore. I reach under the Christmas tree, past the baubles, lights and decorations, and drag the present back to my lap. Dad's gift, wrapped in red metallic paper, sits there laughing. I rip and tear at its shiny skin, the sudden noise waking Mum from her trance. She looks at the box in my hands. Scrabble, Deluxe Edition, I mutter. I turn the box over and start reading aloud the contents, almost choking on the words. With its polished wooden frame, embossed playing surface, wooden tiles and velvet bag, Scrabble Deluxe is the perfect combination of good looks and improved functionality. Stop it, Pedro, Delise moans. Pick your letters, rack your brains, and marvel at the built-in turntable which allows the board to turn easily during play. I stand up and rip the lid off the box, dumping the contents onto the coffee table. The shortbread angels snap and crumble, the velvet bag falling to the floor. It's a good present, Pedro, Mum says, trying to be diplomatic. How can you say that? I yell. He's a bastard. Stop it, Mum cries. Stop it. I reach down, grab the velvet bag and dig out a handful of wooden letters. Come on then, let's play. I hurl the letters at the Christmas tree, dislodging the star on top. How do you spell prick? How do you spell fuckwit? I scream. I scrunch up the bag and throw it hard against the wall. How do you spell father? How do you spell son? I grasp the corner of the coffee table, ready to flip it over, but Delise jumps up just in time, slapping me across the face. Get out of here, she shouts. I look at her for a long moment, then march off to my room and out the back door, holding my old rifle in one hand and my stinging cheek in the other. I hold tight the barrel and swing it like an axe. I shutter snap the windows, kick, slash and hack. I smash through the doorway, picturing his face. My fist through the fibro tears at his place. I demolish his memory and destroy all I find. I splinter my fingers, splinter my mind. Rip the recliner, I tear it apart. I puncture the silence. I puncture my heart.